It's time for Waynoka Railroaders basketball. Welcome to the pregame show, brought to you by Mock Resources, with offices in Waynoka and around the world.
Good afternoon. Welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Red Tornado Dome in Clinton, Oklahoma. One of the beautiful O-line structures in all of basketball or gymnasium action. It is an amazing place that has contained a whole bunch of excitement for a whole lot of years. Ben Buckland with Cade Kennedy, courtside here, as we get ready to go with the first game of area playoffs. So, Cade, really no better way to introduce it than to say, so here we are. An 11-16 team is 3 wins away from winning the state championship in this class of basketball action in this part of the United States. Can they keep it up? Can they keep it going? We're going to see. We're going to find out. It's been a ride so far.
It has been a fun ride so far for this Waynoka team, a Waynoka team that, keep in mind, got into the regional tournament with a record of 8-16. It is now as simple as survive in advance. To keep on going, you keep on winning. If you lose at any point, your season comes to an end. I don't think that many people honestly thought they'd even get here, Ben. It was one of those where the amount of teams they're going to have to go through, Scrappy Eric team, a Blair team, that it took everything for Waynoka to win that game. Took a 38-point effort by Temperance Mosidon to beat Blair in overtime, and then everyone doing their part in the win over Sharon Mutual. Even just to get to area for a lot of teams is impressive enough, but the road is still there for Waynoka today. If they can avenge the loss from earlier in the season, you beat Buffalo, you move on, you'd play Corn Bible Academy or Arnett tomorrow. 2 teams that we've seen Arnett already. Buffalo beat Corn Bible. You don't know who'd win in that game. That'd be later today. But there's still a lot that can go right here for the Lady Rails.
As we get to 5 minutes away probably from tip-off, let us hearken back to the early 70s to welcome in our most recent advertiser. If you can remember the early 70s, and I can, Morris and Coet Litzenberger moved their family from Kansas to Waynoka, and with 1 dozer and 1 truck, they started Litzenberg Construction. With son David, his sons Ben and Heath, over the years, Litzenberger dozers, loaders, track hoes, rock haulers, pond diggers, terrace builders, motor graders, and well location builders, as well as others that I don't know the names of, have taken great care of our part of the country. And they're big enough now to take care of other parts of the country. When you need heavy construction, if you need it dug out or filled up or hauled away or any combination thereof, call Mindy Zook, who, by the way, got there in 1987. At Litzenberg Construction, call 580-824-5441.
And Ben, as we look at these 2 teams, starting with the Lady Rails, coached by Robin Klein, that record of 11-16, we've already mentioned Waynoka's playoff path, how it's worked its way out so far. Went to Arnett, lost in the district championship game there, 62-23. Beat Eric 41-32. That was the opening night of the regional consolation. And then beating Blair in overtime, 55-52 behind. I mean, Ben, you had talked about it. A Temperance Mosidon effort where just about everything she threw up went in. And I mean, that was the type of effort Waynoka needed to win that game 55-52 in overtime. And then on Saturday, the big one, the regional consolation championship win, and you move on to area. It was Waynoka with a 60-34 win over Sharon Mutual. Now looking at this Buffalo side, this is a 15-13 Buffalo team coached by Ryan Nelson, a Buffalo team very talented. And they played some battles. I mean, you look at their playoff path, they beat Burlington. That was a ranked Burlington team that hosted that district. Buffalo went out there, beat them 45-34. Went on to play Corn Bible Academy. That's the regional semifinal. That's Corn Bible Academy team ranked number 12 in all of Class B2 and handled them about the same way, 42-34, before running into Leedy in the regional championship. And Buffalo fell to Leedy 71-44. Again, it's one of those, that's more about how good Leedy is, being the number 3 team in all of Class B2, than it is anything about Buffalo. Buffalo's had some other battles throughout the year. They've had to go up against Leedy. They'd played Burlington earlier. They'd played Beaver, Balco, Forgan, Garber, Moreland, Arnett. This is a battle-tested Buffalo team as well. And it should be mentioned, we talked about that game at Buffalo. It was 55-30. Buffalo beat Waynoka earlier in the year. But that was a game where we talked about it. Temperance Poseidon did not play that well. But folks, we'll kind of let you in here on some of the action as Oklahoma begins to play area just a minute 20 away here in Clinton.
Welcome to the Tornado Dome for the Class B2 Area 1 basketball tournament. We will now recognize a moment of silence so that you may, if you choose, reflect, meditate, pray, or engage in other silent activity. Please be respectful of others during this moment of silence. Please remain standing and look to the American flag as the national anthem is played. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to meet the starting lineups for your Area 1 basketball tournament. First, the visiting team on the scoreboard, coached by Robin Klein, the Waynoka Lady Railroaders, with a record of 11-16. Number 2, Aubrey Delaney. Number 4, junior Brian Beck. Number 13, a junior, Devin Siegel. Number 21, a junior, Temperance Poseidon. And number 22, a senior, Shay Wilson. And now, the home team on the scoreboard, coached by Ryan Nelson, the Buffalo Lady Bisons, with a record of 15-13. First, number 10, Avery 17, Tanner Lauer. Number 21, Allie. And number 25, Kay Snyder. Your officials this afternoon are Jamie Matuszewski, Jason France, and David Garza.
And there you have it, the starting lineups for both sides. Buffalo, the home team, wearing their white jerseys and white shorts. Waynoka, the visiting team, wearing all gray jerseys and gray shorts. 8 minutes on the clock here in the Tornado Dome as the officials get into position. Both teams now making their way onto the court. The ref blows his whistle, gets his way into position, and we are underway here in Clinton as Buffalo wins the opening tip. It'll be Isabel Jordan with the ball first before quickly getting it over to Snyder. Now back around to Lauer. Lauer in between the two circles, flips it back over to Snyder on the extended right side before dumping it down to Cruiser. Cruiser has the ball poked away, but resets it back out to Snyder at the top of the perimeter before sending it back over to Cruiser on the right wing. Looking to drive inside, trapped in the short corner, fires a pass over to Snyder. Thought about a three from the top of the key. 7.5 to play here in the opening quarter. No score yet between Buffalo and Waynoka. Snyder once again thought about a three from the top of the perimeter, drives inside, floats up a shot, rolls around, can't get it to go. Delano able to snatch it, fight for the ball ensues. It rolls out of bounds, last touch by the Lady Rails. Possession will stay with Buffalo. 7:15 to go in the opening quarter. No score yet between the Lady Bison and the Lady Rails. An inbound goes inside to Jordan. Jordan drives inside, dumps it down to Alley, fires up a shot, can't get that one to go. Ball on the ground again. Fight for it ensues. It'll be a jump ball. Possession error will go to the Lady Rails. 7:08 to play in the opening quarter. Buffalo want to show a bit of pressure as the inbound goes to Shea Wilson. As Wilson hesitates, and as she does, that'll be a travel. Buffalo able to get the ball right back. Still early on here in the game, not even a minute in. 7:05 to play in the opening quarters. The inbound goes for the Lady Bison from Lauer out to Snyder. Snyder looks to navigate, flips it over towards the left wing to Jordan. Jordan still looking to go inside. Fires it back out to Lauer, out of bounds. It'll be Waynoka's ball. 6:52 to play in quarter number one, and no score yet on the board for either side. As the inbound goes for the Lady Rails to Seeger, having to face some pressure before finally getting it over to Boziden. And Buffalo now settle back into their defense with a long pass over to Wilson on the extended left side. Going around a screen from Seeger does Wilson, back towards the top of the perimeter. Now moving her way over towards the right, drives inside, tries to throw up a shot, but instead it is blocked out of bounds by the Lady Bison as there's Cruiser on the block. 6:35 to play in the opening quarter. Still no score yet. So Waynoka going from left to right on your radio dial. Buffalo going from right to left. Inbound goes Seeger. Corner three. That one just a bit too strong. Going into the arms of Alley, who has to track it all the way down before nearly going out of bounds. Getting it back over to Snyder, who gets across the timeline. With a bounce pass inside to Cruiser from the free throw line. Able to dish it out towards the left, the right wing around to Lauer, who will reset. Handing it back off to Snyder. Flips it over, down low, with a pass over the head of Alley, but back out to Snyder for a top of the perimeter three, and that one rattles in. So Buffalo able to draw first blood with a 3-0 lead. 6 minutes to go in the opening quarter. As Wilson near the sideline on the far side, makes her way towards the top of the perimeter, goes around a screen from Boziden, drifting off towards the left wing, now backing up. Still looking for somewhere to go. Getting it down to the back of the free throw line around to Seeger in the right corner. Before dumping it back out to Beck. Flipping it inside to Wilson from the free throw line. And moves, shuffles her feet, and it's another travel. 5:38 to go in the opening quarter. Buffalo still with the 3-0 lead over Waynoka. Snyder looking to set the play up. Drifting her way towards the right before giving it back over to Lauer. He finds Alley in the left wing, back over to Lauer, out to Snyder, right wing, before dumping it down inside to Alley. Alley from the free throw line, trying to get it loose to Cruiser, kicks it back out to Snyder, tries another three right side. That one rattles around. DeLeo gets her arms on it and is able to get it out to Boziden to start moving. As Poseidon makes her way towards the right wing, now slows things down. 5:05 to go in the opening quarter. Waynoka trailing 3-0. Beck from the right corner drives inside, throws up a tough two. That one won't fall. Instead, going into the arms of Lauer. As Lauer slowing things down for a moment to get Beck to clear off her before giving it over to Snyder. Snyder quickly throwing it down to the right wing to Jordan, who'll dump it inside to Alley. Shot spins around, won't go down. Fight for the ball ensues. 4 people fighting for it, and it'll be another jump ball. That'll keep possession with Buffalo. 4:45 to go in a defensive quarter so far. Just a 3-0 lead for the Lady Bisons. Inbound goes inside. Pruser draws a foul. This is a good play there, finding the open players. The foul is going to be on Seeger. That's not only her first, it's the first foul of the entire game. It'll put Avery Pruser at the line. She takes a couple of dribbles, fires up free throw number 1. That one's off the back iron and out. Still a 3-0 game with 4:43 to go here in the opening quarter. As Pruser takes a couple dribbles, spins the ball, fires away free throw number 2, and that one's in for her first point of the afternoon. So a 4-0 lead for Buffalo. Wilson drives inside, draws a bump, and that'll be a whistle. And a trip to the free throw line for Shea Wilson. As the foul's going to be on Lauer, that's her first.
Number 22, Shea Wilson.
So Wilson takes a couple dribbles, fires up free throw number 1, and that one hits off the back iron. 4:38 to play here in the opening quarter. Waynoka still trying to get a point on the board. Second free throw for Wilson. Does the same thing, hits off the back iron and into the arms of Jordan. Quickly getting it up to Lauer on the left wing before flinging it back out to Snyder near the top of the arc. We'll dump it inside to Alley from the free throw line. Kicks it back out to Lauer left wing, looking for someone to drive inside. It's the 2-3 zone of Waynoka. As Prouser kicks it back out to Alley. Right side triple, just a bit too strong. Delano able to hunt down another board. There was a pass tipped out of bounds by Jordan. It'll stay with Waynoka. 4:14 to play here in the opening quarter. We're going to get a substitution for the Lady Rails. This will be Gracie Martinelli subbing in. She'll replace Beck. It's Poseidon on the inbound, able to get it into Wilson. Looks to make her way across the timeline, goes around to Poseidon screen, drives in, head full steam, kicks out Delano right corner. Will reset with a bounce pass that ends up stolen away by Alley. Across the timeline towards the top of the perimeter for dishing it around to Lauer before handing it off to Snyder on the right wing before dumping a pass down low. Poseidon trying to get a tip on it, but it's tracked down by Prouser. It'll be a jump ball. 3:48 to play in the opening quarter. Possession goes back to Waynoka. Lady Rails still trying to get on the board. And this has been a problem Waynoka's dealt with at times this year. It's just these scoring droughts of over 4 minutes, 5 minutes sometimes. I mean, against Arnett, they had the whole quarter where they didn't score. And that was in the district championship, and what was a semi-competitive game. Delano right side 3, rims in and out, did not want to go down. As Prouser able to get the ball away before clearing it out, and we've got a quick whistle, and it looks like a timeout going to be taken by Coach Nelson. We'll take it with them. 3:30 to go in the opening quarter. Buffalo with a 4-0 lead over Waynoka. We'll take a quick break and be right back with more Waynoka basketball here on KALV.
The first quarter is brought to you by Rick George and Associates. When it's time for taxes, don't get second-class help for the most important business decision in your world. Get with the best. Rick and Matt at Rick George and Associates in downtown Waynoka.
Back here in the Tornado Dome in Clinton. Day 1, game 1 of the area tournament. Waynoka trailing Buffalo 4-0. As we get back to action out of the first timeout of the game taken by Coach Nelson and the Lady Bison. As they'll flip it over to Tinley Mulberry, who checked in. She drives inside, high arcing shot, rolls around, didn't want to go down. Prouser goes up and draws a trip to the line. I mean, just able to use her height to just simply tower over some of the Waynoka players and take an opportunity to the line. As the foul's going to be on Delano. That's her first. It's the team's second. As Prouser takes a couple of dribbles, fires away the first free throw, and that one's in. Now a 5-0 lead for Buffalo. 3:16 to play in the opening quarter. Second free throw on the way, and that one is in as well to get the pair for Browser. So a 6-0 lead for Buffalo over Waynoka, as the Lady Rails still trying to get on the board. Wilson looked to go around a screen for Martinelli, now backs up into the Clinton logo near center court before drifting right, had the ball poked away, able to get back to it, looking to drive inside, and finally gets whistled for the double dribble. 2:57 to go in the opening quarter, still a 6-0 lead for Buffalo. Snyder looking for somewhere to get inside before ripping it over to Mulberry. Now back to Snyder before dumping it down low to Emery Batman, who checked in before feeding it inside to Jordan, who goes up. And so it'll be Jordan taking a trip to the line. It'll be another Waynoka foul. It's the second on Delano. A quick substitution as Beck will check in place of Delano. This one refs are going to say not a shooting foul, but it is the third foul on Waynoka. Inbound goes to Browser, goes up strong, tried to bank it in, couldn't, and Martinelli able to get her hands on it. Poseidon thundering down the court, looking for somewhere to go. 2.5 minutes to play in the opening quarter. Waynoka still trying to get on the board, down 6-0. Poseidon head full steam, drives inside, draws the bump of the trip to the line, going right at Browser. And that'll be her first, team second.
Kind of designed by the coaches to be a tough day on both 21s. 21s on each other. Poseidon for Waynoka and Adley Alley for Clinton. Two top players. They will battle it out all day.
They will, as Poseidon was able to knock down her first free throw. Not able to get the second. 2:26 to go in the first quarter, and a 6-1 lead for Buffalo. Snyder hands it off to Lizzie Dyes, who checked into the game. Was able to get it around to Mulberry on the left wing. Looking inside, now back out to Dyes at the top of the perimeter, making her way toward the Reds word mark before finding Mulberry once more in the same spot, flipping it into Batman on the corner. Back out to Mulberry, around to Dyes. Thought about a three. Wilson comes over to guard her. Dyes extends back out. 1:57 to go in the opening quarter. Still a 6-1 ball game, favoring the Lady Bison as Dyes on the right wing makes her way back out towards center court near the Clinton logo. As Dyes rifles a pass inside, goes straight to Snyder. Snyder goes up, lost the ball. Beck falls down with it. It looks like it'll be a foul on Buffalo. And it is going to be a foul on Buffalo, and it looks like it'll be on Browser, and that'll be her second. So now 3 team fouls apiece on each side, and a quick substitution for Buffalo as it'll be Alley checking in place of Browser. 1:43 to go in the opening quarter. 6-1, Buffalo on top of Waynoka. As Seeger, the left baseline, looking for somewhere to get it in. Finally was able to rifle it to Poseidon. Will make her way across the timeline. Poseidon still looking for somewhere to go, standing near that Lady Reds word mark on the right side. It's going to be a 5-second violation on Poseidon. And so it's just a lot of turnovers early on for Waynoka. Not really even getting an opportunity to go to the rack. Only 2 trips to the free throw line so far. No shots have fallen, and a lot of turnovers going against the Lady Rails. It's still only down 5, 6-1 as Batman from the right block had it nearly stripped away. Gets it back to Dyes for a mid-range jumper. Rattles around, will not go. Alley's putback is in, but a foul first. Are they going to count it? The foul is going to be on Martinelli. Ref says they're not going to count it, which I didn't think they would. It's the 4th team foul on Waynoka as the inbound goes to Mulberry, trapped in the right corner before getting it out to Dyes. 1:10 to go in quarter number 1. A 6-1 lead for Buffalo. Flipping it back out to Mulberry, standing near that same word mark before finding Dyes once more, drifting towards the left side. Over to Snyder, corner 3, banks out and right into the arms of Alley, kicks it back out. Snyder, another left side triple. That one goes in. Snyder's knocked down both threes of the game for Buffalo and extends their lead to 9-1 with 45 seconds to play in the opening quarter. Martinelli from the free throw line drives inside of the shot that won't go, but Martinelli will take a trip to the line. Refs whistle another foul. It'll be the 4th team foul on Buffalo, and it's the first foul on Mulberry.
Martinelli, a freshman, doesn't lack confidence. She will stick her nose in there.
She absolutely will. She knocks down her first free throw to make it 9-2. 39 seconds to play in quarter number one. Second free throw on the way, and that one dies off to the left. Dye's able to scoop it up. Racing across the timeline is Dyes, now slowing things down. Going right near the top of the 2-3 zone, getting around to Batman, out to Mulberry. Extended right side, over to Dye, still near the top of the perimeter, finding Snyder left corner, dumps it inside to Alley, back out to Dyes at the top of the key, around to Mulberry once more, right wing, extending out to Alley. Thought about a three, 15 seconds to play in the quarter. Back over to Dyes left, a three just a bit short, put back by Snyder. That won't go either. Batman third chance. That one floats in. 7 seconds to play in the quarter. Buffalo an 11-2 lead. Wilson looking 3 seconds to half court. Wilson stops, looks, has nowhere to go, and that will end the quarter. Buffalo with an 11-2 lead over Waynoka. And so, folks, we'll take a quick break and be right back. Waynoka down 11-2 against Buffalo. Be right back with more Waynoka basketball here on KALV.
Mock Resources, with offices in Waynoka, Oklahoma, is an independent upstream oil and gas company focused on the acquisition, development, and production of high-return, low-cost oil and natural gas projects. As responsible stewards of natural resources, Mock Resources understands the pivotal role energy has in building sustainable economic growth, social progress, and improving quality of life locally and globally. In addition to providing ethically sourced energy, Mock Resources is committed to delivering scalable, reliable, and affordable energy to all communities, to equip all people with the modern energy resources they need to thrive. To learn more about Mock Resources, email them info@machnr, that's machnr.com, or find them online at machnr.com.
Ben Buckland, Cade Kennedy in Clinton. As you take a look at the first quarter, you think, Cade, it's not too bad. But at this rate, Waynoka will have 8 points at the end of the game. It's time to knock the top off of that thing.
Absolutely. I mean, it is going to have to be trying to go inside and get those shots to finally fall. And you have to stop the turnovers if you're Waynoka, because immediately we have a foul on Beck against Emery Batman. Batman taking a couple dribbles, fires away the first free throw, and that one is in. And that's what Buffalo's been able to do so well so far, is get to the free throw line.
Let's go, ladies, walk out.
They have a 12-2 lead over Waynoka. 7:50 to go until halftime. Second free throw on its way from Batman. Can't get it to go as Poseidon able to get the ball. Poseidon now ends up having to poke away by Snyder. Snyder making her way down, trying to go coast to coast. Can't get her layup to fall, but Batman with the putback will roll around it in. 14-2, Buffalo on top of Waynoka. 7:30 to go in the first half as Martinelli ends up falling to the ground. Had the ball still rolling around in her arms. Waynoka just cannot get anyone near her. Two Buffalo players jump on top. Looked like it was Batman in the area, and instead it'll force a jump ball that'll stay with Waynoka. 7:26 to go in quarter number two. Still a 14-2 lead for Buffalo. It's the inbound for the Lady Rails, goes to Wilson, makes her way across the timeline, goes around to Poseidon screen, drives inside to the right block. Tough two, calls around it in. And the first field goal of the game for Waynoka comes with 7:13 to go in the second quarter to make it 14-4. His pass inside alley, back out to Snyder, right wing. Just lobs it inside. It's stolen away by Reagan Wilson, who subbed in. Then had the ball poked out of her arms. It'll stay with Waynoka. So both Wilsons on the court now for the Lady Rails. The inbound goes to Seeger. Seeger lobs it. Batman taps it away, back to herself, drives inside, runs into Poseidon, and there's no call either way. Refs say it's not a block, it's not a charge, it's just a play on with 6:53 to go here in the first half. 14-4, Buffalo still on top of Waynoka. It's the inbound from Dyes, too tall, out of bounds, last touch by Snyder, and Waynoka gets it back anyway. A quick substitution as Martinelli will sub in place of Seeger. As Poseidon looking to inbound it right in front of the Waynoka bench here on the near side. Gets it into Martinelli. Will walk her way across the timeline. Rifles it to Reagan Wilson. Short right corner. Looking for somewhere to go still is Wilson, but getting it out to Poseidon, who will make her way to the top of the corner. Poseidon drives inside, tough two, rolls around, can't get it to go. Batman able to sky for the board. 6:30 to go in quarter number 2. 14-4, Buffalo on top of Waynoka. Dies over to Mulberry. Thought about three from the left side, instead bats it out to Alley. Mid-range jumper, just a bit off. As Shea Wilson able to scoop it up and then gets her way into a double team. Had it poked away and out of bounds. Will stay with Waynoka. As two substitutions look to come in for Buffalo. It'll be the return of Jordan and Lauer. 6:19 to play in the first half. Waynoka down by 10, 14-4. As Martinelli looking to set up the offense, flips it to Reagan Wilson in the right corner. Wilson's still looking for somewhere to operate, backs out into the wing, lobs it over the head of Shea Wilson and out of bounds. Right in front of the Buffalo student section. This Buffalo making a long trip here as well, but Waynoka just a few more people here. Snyder near the top of the perimeter, gives it over to Jordan, who'll lob it back over to Snyder. Right side triple, that one is around, will not go down. Fight for the ball ensues. Martinelli comes up with it, and out to Poseidon, who starts running away. Crossing the timeline, now slowing things down. Goes around to Martinelli's screen. Poseidon head full steam, inside bump, and gets the foul! Poseidon able to try to capitalize on the end. One opportunity given to her. She gets bumped by Batman.
The bank is open. This portion of our broadcast brought to you by Core Bank in downtown Waynoka.
Free throw rims in and out, will not go as Beck tried to get her hands on it. 14-6, Buffalo on top of Waynoka. 5:30 to go in quarter number 2. As Snyder, harassed by Shea Wilson, gives it over to Lauer, making her way left wing. Down to Alley in the corner, back around to Lauer. Over to Snyder once more, right side, dumping it into Alley at the free throw line. Thought about it, instead gives it off to Jordan with a bounce pass in the corner to Snyder, who now drives inside, working on both sides. 5:08 to play here in quarter number 2. Buffalo still with a 14-6 lead. Batman from the left block, kicks out. Snyder thought about a three, drives inside, chucks up a shot, and draws a foul. Went into heavy contact. As the foul will be, it looks like, again on Beck, and that'll be her second foul. Snyder's first free throw up, goes off the back iron and spins out. We'll have a sub for the Lady Royals. It'll be the return of Seeger to the game, as she'll replace Beck. 4:59 to play here in the first half. Second free throw spins around and in for Snyder, as she has 7 of the 15 Buffalo points. As the inbound still working around, and eventually in the shuffle, we end up getting a foul called on Buffalo, as the foul will be on Snyder. That's her first, team second. 15-6 the score favoring the Lady Bison. 4:53 to go here in half number 1. As Seeger in front of the Waynoka bench here on the near side, looking for someone to go, gets it out to Shea Wilson, back over to Seeger in the right wing. Seeger nearly shuffles her feet, has to throw it back to Poseidon as it ends up going in and out of her arms, out of bounds, and back to Buffalo. Lauer on the inbound to Snyder. Makes her way across the timeline. Waynoka not wanting to show any pressure, just get back and stay in the 2-3 zone. Jordan on the right wing, back out to Snyder, sends it over Lauer's way on the left wing before dumping it around. Kick back out, Snyder, top of the key three, rattles in. She's knocked down all 3 threes made in this game. 18-6, Buffalo on top of Waynoka. 4:18 to go in the first half. Martinelli has the ball poked away. Ball still laying her way on the ground. Poseidon dives for it. We have a fight between Poseidon and Snyder that results in a near jump ball. Looked like it was going to be, but first called a timeout. 4:13 to go in the first half. 18-6, Buffalo on top of Waynoka. We'll take a quick timeout and be right back with more Waynoka basketball on KALV.
This portion of tonight's game is brought to you by the Long Gas Company of Alva. When it's propane you need, Long's delivers to you, or you can pick it up on East Flynn in Alva. Call them at 580-327-1436. From the beginning of time, Larry and Linda Zook have supported the people and events in our part of the country. Usually, Chimney Rock Mini Storage is full, and we remind you to get on the waiting list for the next open unit. Well, for the first time in a long time, Linda and Larry have a couple of open units at Chimney Rock Mini Storage in Waynoka. Call quickly, 580-824-1042.
Back to action here in the Tornado Dome in Clinton. 4 minutes to play in the first half of the first day of area consolation between Buffalo and Waynoka. As Batman drives inside, her shot spins around, won't go, and Boziden able to get the board, trying to fight underneath the trees. Now working her way across the timeline, storming down the court, now having to slow down, facing a double team, lobs it inside to Seeger, kicks it back out to Martinelli, drives inside to the rack, draws the foul, gets the shot. And that is what Waynoka needed, just trying to drive inside and draw a foul, and it works to perfection there.
Did I mention, freshman does not lack for confidence.
Does not matter, free throw not able to get it to go, but Boziden gets it right back, tries to go up strong as her shot blocked away. Snyder and Batman were able to contribute on that. Batman now driving across, but then double dribbles it. 3:33 to go in the first half, and it's 18-8. Waynoka trying to get a little bit more momentum as Mulberry subs in place of Batman. There's Emery Batman, who has 5 points already in this one. Lady Rails getting the ball back, trying to cut this back to a single-digit deficit. As Shea Wilson goes around her sister Reagan Wilson on the screen, drifting left. Throws a pass stolen away by Snyder. The Snyder then has to slow down, facing a double team. Back to Alley, who throws it back. And as she does, Snyder wasn't across yet. It's a backcourt violation. 3:15 to play in the second quarter, and Waynoka will force another turnover. As the refs making sure Waynoka inbounds in the right place. It'll be Boziden on the far side. Looking for someone to fire it off to. Finally gets it over to Shea Wilson. Moves around her defender. Goes around to Boziden's screen. She drives inside. Head full of steam. Layup won't go. Wilson tries to get her own board back. Ball bobbles around. Out of bounds. Last touched by the Lady Rails. 3:07 to play in quarter number two. 18-8 still the score favoring Buffalo. Snyder looks for somewhere to go, gets it around to Lauer before dumping it down in the left corner. Now bounce back out to Mulberry, who tries a three right wing. That one will bounce off the back iron and into the arms of Seeger. Still trying to navigate around a double team. Finally able to hand it off to Shea Wilson. Waits for a screen from Martinelli. Wilson gets bumped, and the foul will go against Jordan. That'll be her first. More importantly, that'll be the team's fourth. 2:43 to play in the first half. Quick sub for Buffalo. It'll be the return of Dyes into the game, replacing Lauer. Lady Rails able to cleanly get the inbound to Shea Wilson. 2:40 to play in quarter number two as Wilson works around Jordan. Now all action so far on the left wing. Trying to fling it inside. Instead gives it around to Seeger in the corner. Will make her way off from the wing towards the top of the free throw line. Out to Martinelli. Right side three. Just a bit too strong. Fight for the ball. Reagan Wilson jumps in there. And it'll turn into a jump ball. The possession arrow will favor Buffalo. But once again, good effort here from the Lady Rails. Just continuing to fight and try to hang around in this thing. The shots still aren't falling, but the effort is most certainly there. As Snyder lobs a hierarchy pass over to Mulberry. Now throws it back inside to Alley. Too strong. Shea Wilson took it away. And make her way across the red Tornadoes logo towards the top of the perimeter. Thought about a three. Looks for someone to navigate around a screen. Finally gets one from Martinelli on the left side. Back over Martinelli. Has the ball nearly knocked away. Falls down, but able to get it out to Seeger cleanly first before she fell down. Seeger taking her place at the top of the perimeter. Throws it down low to Boziden in a fight for the ball between Boziden and Mulberry. Turns into a jump ball. Possession error favored Waynoka, and a quick sub as Prowser jumps back into the game for the Lady Bison. She will replace Jordan. 1:52 to play in the opening half. 18-8, Buffalo on top. Inbound to Boziden for the Lady Rails in the right corner. before getting it out to Martinelli. Martinelli works her way down towards the right block, drives inside, and an offensive foul called on Martinelli. As Buffalo looking to go off and run with it, but the ref's saying, hey, it was a foul first. You got to set it back to me. 1:45 to go in the first half. Buffalo still an 18-8 advantage. Snyder on the right wing, dumps it down to Alley at the right elbow, back around the dies, over to Snyder once more. Thought about a three. Reagan Wilson comes over to pressure around her. Now down to Pruser, drives inside. Reagan Wilson takes it away to jump ball force. That'll keep things with Buffalo. 1:30 to play in the first half as Zoe Schmidt will check in for the first time, replacing Martinelli. So to be dies on the left baseline, fires it to Mulberry, knocked out of bounds by Bozeiden. As Coach Klein tried to tell the ref, hey, I think Mulberry got it last, but the ref saying that's not the case. It'll stay with Buffalo. As Dies on the inbound, gets it over to Alley. Alley on the kick out left, block long two for Dies, goes over the top, but into the arms of Pruser. Tried to chase it down, it goes off her arms, and back out to Waynoka. 1:23 to play in quarter number two. A game that feels like it's been 18-8 for a while, but a good defensive game as Seeger able to break through across the prep, had the ball stolen away by Dies who ran behind her. Seeger didn't know she was coming. As Dies now slowing things down with 1:10 to go in quarter number two. Buffalo still with that double-digit lead, 18-8. As Dies and Mulberry passed it back and forth. Mulberry now rifles it into Snyder, down to Pruser, underneath the basket. Three different rails in the area, moves her feet, it'll be a travel. Three different lady rails, all trying to make sure Prouser had nowhere to go. And a good job once again by the Waynoka defense. Bozeiden able to get it into Seeger, going away from the pressure of Alley. Now back to Bozeiden, 21 guarding 21. Alley on Bozeiden. 45 seconds to play the opening half. Bozeiden watches the ball bobble away, has to go down, try to save it. She fell down and it rolled out of bounds. Still an 18-8 game here in Buffalo as the inbound goes to Snyder. And if Buffalo wants to hold for the final shot here, they can. Snyder's able to fling it inside to Alley. Still standing just inside the arc. Back over to Dies. Dies attacks from the left corner. Lost the ball. Zoe Schmidt goes to the floor with it. Jump ball. And the possession arrow will move it back to Waynoka, who can now try to hold for the final shot with 29 seconds to play in the opening half. As Bozeiden's pass goes over to Seeger. Seeger makes her way towards the right side. Now flings it into Reagan Wilson at the free throw line. Had the ball poked away. Now will give it back to Seeger. Drives in towards the right block. Bounces it underneath to Schmidt, who throws up a shot. Can't get that one to go. And it's scooped up by Alley. 10 seconds to go in the half. Over to Snyder. Long pass out to Dies. 7 seconds. Dies attacks with a floater. Goes off the side of the backboard. Shea Wilson gets it. 3 seconds to go. Wilson gets to half court. Throws up a shot and it'll fall short. That is how the first half comes to an end. Waynoka trailing Buffalo 18-8 here at the break. Folks, we'll take a quick timeout, and when we come back, we'll get into those first half numbers and a bit more. Waynoka down 18-8 at halftime here in area at the Tornado Dome in Clinton. We'll be back in a moment with more Waynoka basketball on KALV.
Clean Harbors, hazardous waste disposal and recycling services provide the widest range of recycling, treatment, and disposal options for all your hazardous waste streams. Unmatched in North America, our infrastructure of hazardous waste management facilities services all of the U.S. and Canada, northern Mexico, and Puerto Rico. We handle both drum and bulk hazardous waste in liquid, solid, semi-solid, sludge, and gas forms. One call handles all your hazardous waste disposal needs. Located in Waynoka, where we proudly support our railroaders.
Rachel's Cafe in downtown Waynoka is like its owner. Beautiful. From the front door, clear through. You'll love the look, the feel, and you'll love the taste at Rachel's Cafe. With a full menu and a daily special, Rachel's is burgers, calf fries, and much, much more. Open Tuesday through Thursday from 11 to 4 and Friday and Saturday from 11 to 7 p.m. Say hi to Rachel and her great staff in downtown Waynoka.
When your business is agriculture, you want a bank behind you that doesn't cut and run at the first sign that there will be some tough times ahead. There are good years and there are always bad years. At Farm Credit of Western Oklahoma, we're here for them all. Agriculture, it's the backbone of our local community. We believe in it. We invest in it. We're here for the long haul. If you're in agriculture, it's time to let Farm Credit of Western Oklahoma make your best even better. Contact a loan officer today. Farm Credit of Western Oklahoma, the area's leading lender in agriculture.
Alva State Bank and Trust Company, older than Oklahoma, big enough to serve you and small enough to know you.
We love to give back to our customers. Did you know Alva State Bank offers a great rewards checking account program? That's right. You can earn cash back or high interest with our Kasasa accounts. We will even refund you up to $25 in ATM fees.
How do I qualify?
It's simple. Just swipe your debit card 12 times, sign up for online statements, and have one ACH credit or debit post to your account.
Can I do it online?
Yes. Just visit our website at www.alvastatebank.com to see if our Kasasa Rewards program is right for you. We make banking easy. Whether you're at home, the office, or in your car, our online or mobile banking options help you juggle busy schedules and financial needs.
We plant roots where others have branches.
Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
Ben Buckland and Cade Kennedy in Clinton, Oklahoma at one of the real old classic, good, wonderful barns. The Red Tornado, this thing built in a circle. Last week we were in Erie, another one of the classics that you just don't want to see them go away, but at someday they will, and be replaced like all of them are with a bunch of aluminum and a little bit of steel. These things were built to last, and they have lasted. This is a classic place. A lot of great basketball's been played in here over the years. So you take a look at the first half, you go, well, this is not what we expected. I'm not sure what we expected, but we didn't expect 18-8. A couple of observations is the defense put out there by both coaches is working. You know, Robin Klein's zone defense works pretty well against Clinton because it nullifies their pick and roll and the stuff that they do offensively. Now, where the points have come from is they've got a little more length, so when the shots are missed from outside, which they're shooting from outside because of the zone, when the shots are missed from outside, they're able to go up and rebound and do some stuff from in close. On the other end of the floor is press man, and they're not doubling Temperance Poseidon, but she has their best player, number 21, Allie, on her all of the time that person is available. And when that person goes to the bench for a little breather, they send in number 4, who is one of the fleetest of foot on the Buffalo side. They have a person in the middle at the top that will sag on Temperance if she starts to move up around the outside where she likes those three-point shots. So you just take a look at the scoring, you go, well, it's pretty much working for both of the coaches, and it's working a little better maybe for the Buffalo coach than Robin Klein, the Waynoka coach, at this point. You wouldn't think an 18-8 ball game's very interesting to watch, but it has been. There's some good back and forth action.
There has been, and Ben, we had talked about, I mean, you've done a good point here talking about the defense. It's hard to think for Waynoka. Everything's working well with the exception of Paige Snyder, who has 10 points already in this game for Buffalo. She is the difference right now in this game because she's the only person on either side that's made a three. She has all 3 threes in the game, and Buffalo has made more threes than they have twos, which is crazy to think about with the size advantage that they have. But Waynoka's defense is continuing to play well on them.
And Waynoka does not have a choice but to continue to sling the basketball. They've got to. No matter The ball comes to a young person that's not a conditioned, skilled shooter, shall we say, makes no difference. You got to sling the basketball. It's got to get to the rim, and hopefully we can knock the top off of the rim. If not, got to get some rebounds, being way out-rebounded.
Absolutely, and looking at the scoring totals so far in the first half as the Lady Rails make their way back onto the court. Looking at scoring, we'll start with Buffalo. We already mentioned it. Paige Snyder with 10 points so far in this one. 3 threes in the first half. She has been the leader so far. And then Emery Batman with 5. She's got both shots made inside, one of them coming off a putback. And then Avery Browser with 3, and all 3 of her points were from the free throw line in the opening quarter. Did not score the entire second quarter. She was in foul trouble dealing with the 2 fouls she had early on in the game. Looking at the scoring for Waynoka, it's pretty simple. It's Temperance Bozeiden with 3, Gracie Martinelli with 3, and Shea Wilson with 2. Waynoka did not have a single made field goal the entire first quarter, only had the 2 free throws, one from Bozeiden and one from Martinelli. But Waynoka starting to work their way inside a bit more in that second quarter, started to get some opportunities at the free throw line, had a few and ones that didn't go their way. I think that's been also one of the main problems. We'll talk about it a little bit more when we get to keys to the second half, but Waynoka's split just about every pair of free throws or opportunity they've had so far at the line today. Folks, we'll take another break, and when we come back, we'll get into those keys of the second half. Buffalo with an 18-8 lead over Waynoka at the break here at the Tornado Dome, day 1 of area here in Clinton. We'll be back in a moment.
America's Oasis, a whole new world of off-road delight. America's Oasis, joining the north edge of the Little Sahara State Park just south of Waynoka, is open for business, and they invite you and your family to come stay and play. To explore all the possibilities, go to their website, americasoasis.com, and see the many ways you can come to Northwest Oklahoma and play in the sand. America's Oasis, an amazing concept. You have to experience it to believe it. Come visit America's Oasis, just south of Waynoka, the little city by the sand. Warm up with a class at Northwest Technology Center this month. Choose one of our evening classes, including computer fundamentals, cooking, health-related courses, business development, and much more. Northwest Technology Center also offers training for your business at your convenience. Contact us today for more information at 580-327-0344 in Alva or 580-227-3708 in Fairview. Northwest Technology Center is preparing students for success in education, careers, and life.
What do you look for in a good ag lender? Local decision making? Quick responses on questions? Personalized business packages with a focus on your financial goals? Guidance with the latest technology? On-site visits with respect for your time and your schedule? Well, if that sounds good to you, you should give us a call. Farm Credit of Western Oklahoma, the leader in ag lending.
Farm Credit of Western Oklahoma, an equal housing lender, online at farmcreditloans.com.
Holder Drug, your local pharmacy. Stop in and check out some of the new available items at Holder's, starting with our hanging scrolls and banners. Expecting a child soon? Holder Drug is the perfect place for your baby registry. Find more information by stopping by the store or visit us online at holderdrug.com. As always, free delivery with your medications and prescriptions, along with specials at the fountain. That's Holder Drug, located on the downtown square, right here in Alva.
We are very fortunate to live, to work, and to be able to play in this part of the world. We're also thankful for all of our blessings, our friends, and our neighbors in and around the Waynoka area. One of our big blessings is having our own animal doctor. That's Dr. Michaela Zook. Dr. Michaela Zook is now located in downtown Waynoka and can be reached at any time by telephone, 580-554-0226. Dr. Michaela Zook. One more blessing at our hometown veterinarian.
From the beginning of time, Larry and Linda Zook have supported the people and events in our part of the country. Usually, Chimney Rock Mini Storage is full, and we remind you to get on the waiting list for the next open unit. Well, for the first time in a long time, Linda and Larry have a couple of open units at Chimney Rock Mini Storage in Waynoka. Call quickly, 580-824-1042.
In the early 70s, Morris and Coet Litzenberger moved their family from Kansas to Waynoka. And with one dozer and one truck, they started Litzenberger Construction. There's a fair amount of more equipment now. In the following, half century, David, the son, and his sons, Heath and Ben, and the rest of the family, and some neighbors, have carried on the name in fine style. In 1987, Mindy Zook moved to the front office, and she hadn't left. When you have a job that requires heavy equipment, you want it either taken away or put back, filled up or dug out. Call Litzenberger Construction at 580-824-5441. We are seconds away from getting back to the action. We'll use this moment to congratulate the Waynoka FFA and area FFAs. It's National FFA Week.
So we get back to action here in Clinton with an early turnover by the Lady Bisons. So Waynoka still down 18-8, and an opportunity once again to try to claw into this thing and make it a single-digit deficit. As Wilson from the top of the river has the pass stolen away by Prowser. Wilson giving chase. Prowser coast-to-coast layup. Can't get it to go, and it's saved by Beck, who tips it back out to Wilson. But then Wilson has it stolen away by Lauer. Check that. She gets bumped by Wilson.
That is the only way in the world that could have turned out sorta, kinda okay.
So that turned into about the best way that could have worked out for Buffalo. Couldn't get the layup, but instead he draw a foul, and they're able to get the first free throw to go, but not the second as the ball tips around, goes out of bounds, last touch by Prowser. 19-8, Buffalo on top of Waynoka, 7:27 to play here in the third quarter. As the inbound goes to Wilson from Seeger, crossing the timeline. Waynoka now going from right to left across your radio dial. Buffalo will go from left to right. Wilson rolls around a screen. That's an illegal screen for Briley Beck, and that'll be her third foul of the game, and will bring Martinelli back in for Beck. So there are two early fouls on Waynoka here in the third quarter, and that's not what you ever want to see. Snyder from the top of the perimeter gives it around to Lauer. Lauer able to give it off to Alley, dumps it down inside of Prowser, trying to work off the left block. Shot just a bit too strong. Boseiden able to scoop it up and go off and running with it. 1-on-4 against the entire Buffalo team. Boseiden attacks the rack, can't get her shot to fall. Fight for the ball ensues between Boseiden and Snyder, and it's a jump ball that'll keep possession with Waynoka. 6:54 to play here in the third quarter. 19-8, Buffalo leading. Seeger on the inbound from the left baseline, looking for somewhere to go, still waiting, still motioning, finally lobs it all the way back out to Wilson near center court. Will motion her way towards the left side, stops, pops for a three, that one just a bit too strong. Alley able to snatch the ball away and get it off to a streaking Snyder. Head full of steam. Snyder goes up strong with her shot, spins around, will not go. Boseiden with the board, but instead throws it right back away to Lauer, gives it off to Prowser, who lays it in. 21-8, Buffalo leading Waynoka. 6:30 to go in the third quarter. As Wilson from the left side looking to try to navigate her way in. Finally rolls around the screen, has the ball poked off her leg and out of bounds, back to Buffalo. Waynoka, once again for Waynoka, just that same rut they got in to start the game, just having opportunities present themselves as Buffalo's missed a few easy bunnies, as Prowser finds herself wide open and lays that one in. Prowser able to navigate against the zone. 23-8, Buffalo extending the lead to its largest of the day, 15 points. 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. Boseiden back over to Delano, rifles a pass out to Seeger, back out to Boseiden. Still working along that right wing, now wanting to drive inside. Boseiden back to Martinelli, top of the key three, and that'll be just a bit short, out of bounds. It's Buffalo moving with momentum right now on a 5-0 stretch to start this third quarter, as Lauer gets whistled for the double dribble. Just lost the ball momentarily, trying to dribble it back. 5:41 to play in the third quarter. Seeger looking for somewhere to inbound on the far side. Gets it to Martinelli, as she does. Prowser gets her hand on the back of her, and that will be the third foul on Avery Prowser, who's come alive here to start the second half with 4 of the 5 points for Buffalo. Now 7 points on the day for her, but 3 fouls. As the inbound goes to Martinelli. Martinelli looking to drive inside, lost the ball, saves it back on the left wing with Prowser all over before giving it back out to Wilson. Thought about it 3, now drives inside towards the free throw line, spins around, and as she does, it's another travel. 5:29 to play in the third quarter. Waynoka trying to get on the board here in the third quarter. There's Snyder from the top of the perimeter. Whips it over to Lauer, now dumping it down to Prowser. Prowser towards the left block, throws him a shot, rattles around, won't go down. Well, Jordan got a hand on it, but Martinelli able to track it down and clear it out to Seeger, out to Bozaiden. As Bozaiden lobs a pass down to Wilson. Wilson makes it towards the left wing. Thought about a 3. Instead, now faces the defense of Buffalo's, drives inside. We're going to have a whistle and a quick timeout by Waynoka. 5:02 to play in the third quarter. And Lady Rails down 23-8 against Buffalo. We'll take a quick break and be right back with more Waynoka basketball here on KALV.
This quarter is brought to you in part by Chimney Rock Mini Storage on the south side of Waynoka. Larry and Linda Zook supporting all things in Northwest Oklahoma that make our community the best. Give them a call at 580-824-1042.
Back here in the Tornado Dome, here in Clinton, area consolation battle between Buffalo and Waynoka. And right now, it's Buffalo with a 23-8 lead over the Lady Rails with 5:02 to play in the third quarter. And I mean, once again for Waynoka, the problem really has not been trying to get the offense going. It's the turnovers early on and possessions. Just having the ball bounce off someone's leg or have a double dribble or a travel, something like that. That has been Waynoka's problem so far in this one. The defense is holding its own. Buffalo scored 55 the first time Waynoka played. So far, they've been held to 23 with 5 minutes to play left in the third quarter. As the inbound goes from Seeger to Wilson to get the possession started. Wilson makes the defender fall off, drives inside, shot spins around, won't go down. Tracked back out by Martinelli, over to Bozaiden. Bozaiden in the paint, attacks inside, shot will not fall, just rims in and out. Snyder gets it, and as she spins around, she gets whistled for a travel as Bozaiden still on the ground. It's Lady Rails checking to see if Bozaiden's okay. 4:45 here to go in the third quarter, and Bozaiden gets up. So Waynoka with the ball back. Seeger once again inbounding from the far left baseline. Tries to get it out to Bozaiden. Finally does. She guns a 3, and that one just a bit short as Batman able to get her first rebound of the second half, subbed in during the timeout. Quickly off to Snyder. Throws it down low to Alley. Alley trying to go to the right baseline. Dumps it down low to Batman. Had the ball poked away by Delano, who's able to track it down into a double team. Throws it. Alley steals it right back to Lauer. We'll flip it over to Jordan. Jordan drives inside of the ball, poked away as she did. It'll be a foul on Waynoka. As Bozaiden looked back over to the Waynoka bench, and it looks like she needs a breather, and that's what she's going to get as Reagan Wilson subs in for her. 4:22 to go in the third quarter, still 23-8 as the inbound goes to Jordan in the right corner. Drives inside, flips up a shot from the right side. That one will spin in and out. Last touch by the Lady Bison.
Let's score now, let's score!
Waynoka still down by 15, trying to get its first point of the second half. As Wilson drives inside, splits through the defense, shot blocked away by Batman. As Batman still fighting against the double team, both Wilson sisters ganging up on her, trying to rip the ball away. Jump ball keeps possession with Buffalo. 4:06 to go in the third quarter. Buffalo and Waynoka have been locked at 23-8 for a moment. Alley tries to break the streak with a shot that banks off, can't get it to go. Put back in for Batman. That extends the lead 25-8. Buffalo on top of Waynoka. 3:45 to go in the third quarter. Shea Wilson looking for a screen around Martinelli. Instead, gives it over to Reagan Wilson on the right wing. Gives it back over to Shea. Thought about a long two, did Shea, but instead makes her way back out towards the right wing. Bobble the ball to Martinelli. Looking to size up Batman. Martinelli driving inside, stumbles, goes to the ground as she does. Batten falls on top of her, and that'll be her third foul.
Coach Robin Klein has brought Temperance Poseidon to the bench. Obviously, the biggest spark plug on the Waynoka team, and it's not to rest her. It's because she hit her head pretty hard on going for the basketball on not the most recent try for rebound, but the one before that. So kind of set her down on the end of the bench a little bit.
Yeah, and Temperance earlier motioned to Coach Klein saying, I need to sit out for a few moments. So trying to get the race. Seeger right side three, rims in and out, will not go down. Fight for the ball continues. Goes out of bounds. It'll stay with Waynoka. 3:17 to play in the third quarter. Waynoka still trying to get the first point of the second half. As the inbound from Seeger to Delano, back out, or to Martinelli, back out to Seeger. Looking for space on the left side, around to Martinelli. Left wing, drives in towards the elbow. Pass stolen away by Dyes, who subbed in for the first time. Dyes able to get it down to Jordan, looking to navigate inside with the bounce pass poked away by Reagan Wilson over to Shea Wilson. Shea Wilson then loses the ball, gets back up. Now Waynoka has numbers in a 5-on-4. Gives it over to Seeger. Bounce pass, left wing. Martinelli could not get it to go. Fight continues, and it'll be a foul, it looks like, on Reagan Wilson, and that will be her first of the game. 25-8, Buffalo still on top of Waynoka's. Temperance Poseidon comes back in place of Delano. Snyder able to inbound to Dyes in what has still been a 7-0 quarter favoring Buffalo. Dyes from the top of the perimeter, around to Snyder, right wing, back over to Dyes, lobbing it out to Mulberry. On the left side over to Jordan for a corner three. That one just a bit short. Reagan Wilson able to fall on it, but as she does, she ends up going out of bounds. 2:26 to go in the third quarter. It'll stay with Buffalo and an inbound to Mulberry, right corner. Mulberry drives inside as she does. She gets hit by Shea Wilson, and that'll be her second foul. It'll be the fifth team foul of the quarter on the Lady Rails. So they'll put Mulberry to the line. 25-8, Buffalo on top of Waynoka. Mulberry takes a couple dribbles. First free throw is in. 26-8 now the score, favoring Buffalo. As Mulberry takes a couple dribbles, trying to get the pair, and that one is pure. 27-8 now the lead for the Lady Bison, their largest of the afternoon. As Wilson on the left side, Shea Wilson looking for somewhere to go, goes around a screen for Martinelli towards the left wing. Thought about driving inside, now looking for somewhere to go, gets it back over to Seeger, tipped out of bounds by Snyder. 2:09 to play in the third quarter, as Poseidon will now be the inbounder on the near side in front of the Waynoka bench. Gets it to Martinelli in the short corner, back around to Wilson. Thought about a three, did Shea Wilson from deep, but instead will give it inside to Poseidon from the free throw line. Now backing out, kicking out to Reagan Wilson, attacking from the right side. Had it poked and stolen away by Snyder. Snyder lobs it ahead to Jordan. Jordan a fast break. Martinelli checks up. Snyder can't get her shot to fall. Seeger able to track it down. Now triple team. Flips it over to Martinelli. Martinelli racing past defenders. Has the ball poked away. Kips it back to herself. Gets bumped by Snyder in the back, out of bounds. Last touch by Snyder. Waynoka fans not happy about that call. They weren't happy about it. They wanted a foul by Snyder. Instead, they don't get it. Back around to Martinelli, standing at the edge of the Clinton logo. Over to Poseidon on the left wing. Now works her way inside to the free throw line. Poseidon's shot spins around, won't go down. Instead, it's Snyder skying for the ball, racing it out to Dyes. 1:30 to play in quarter number 3. Dyes attacking from the right side, kicks it back out Jordan. Right corner triple, rims in and out, and goes into the arms of Martinelli. Martinelli gives it away to Poseidon. Poseidon racing down the court towards the right block, attacks inside, and draws the foul. Waynoka's been trying to play fast all day, and it finally works in their favor as draws the second foul on Mulberry.
Probably merciless of me to point out, but Waynoka had 8 points at halftime.
That they did as the first free throw off the back iron for Poseidon. As Buffalo will bring Krauser and Lauer back into the game. As Waynoka will counter with the return of Beck. 27-8, Buffalo on top of Waynoka. 1:17 to play in the third quarter. As Bennett mentioned, no points yet this quarter for Waynoka until the second free throw rattles around and in for Poseidon to make it 27-9. Snyder from the right corner dumps it down to Prowser. Prowser tries to go up and under as she does. Gets bumped on the right block, and that will be a foul on Reagan Wilson, her second. Will be another trip to the free throw line for Buffalo as they try to move the lead up to 20, which would be the largest of the day. Prowser with 7 points already on the day. Takes a couple dribbles, fires up free throw number one, and that one is in. 28-9 with 1:05 to go in the third quarter. As Prowser takes a couple dribbles, fires away free throw number two, and that one goes off the front of the iron into the arms of Shea Wilson. As Wilson thundering down the court, stops, and as she stops to feel the defender back from behind her, it's another travel. 28-9, still the score with a minute to go in the third quarter as the inbound goes to Lauer. Still looking for somewhere to go. Gets it off of the Dyes on the right wing. Back around to Lauer. Bounces it over to Mulberry. Flicking it out to Snyder. Dumps it down low. The Prowsers to try to kick it back out. Shea Wilson deflected it. Fight for the ball continues. 44 seconds to go in the quarter. It'll be another jump ball. Possession will give it back to Waynoka. The refs get into their proper positions. It will be Martinelli on the inbound. She's able to fling it into Shea Wilson. Will calmly make her way across the timeline. Wilson's still looking for somewhere to go. Drives inside as she does. It'll be another foul against the Lady Bison. So that one will be on Prowser. That's her fourth. And that has got to be the biggest foul of the game so far. His first free throw on the way for Shea Wilson is up and in. Making it a 28-10 game as Batman will now check in place of Prowser, who's got those four fouls. 31 seconds to play in the third quarter. Second free throw on the way for Shea Wilson. That one goes off the back iron. Instead, Batman able to get it, but pokes it back out to Reagan Wilson. Goes up for two. Shot rolls around. Won't go down. Mulberry able to grab the board and able to fling it out to Batman. 22 seconds to play in the third quarter. 28-10. Buffalo on top of Waynoka. Mulberry looking to navigate around back. Instead, gives it off to Lauer. We'll dump it inside to Snyder. 13 seconds to go in the quarter. Up to Batman. Goes up strong and draws another foul. And another trip to the free throw line for the Lady Bison as it's the third foul on Reagan Wilson. It's Batman. Takes a couple dribbles. Fires away at the line. Her first free throw's pure. 29-10, Buffalo on top of Waynoka with 10 seconds to go here in the third quarter. It's Batman trying to complete the pair. Second free throw on the way, and that one is good. 30-10, Buffalo on top of Waynoka. 8 seconds to go in the third quarter. Shea Wilson towards the left wing, down to 5. So it's still navigating 2. Hoists up a 3. Goes off the back iron, will not go down. And that is how the third quarter ends. Buffalo with a 30-10 lead over Waynoka. We'll take a quick break and be right back with more Waynoka basketball here on KALV.
Mock Resources, with offices in Waynoka, Oklahoma, is an independent upstream oil and gas company focused on the acquisition, development, and production of high-return, low-cost oil and natural gas projects. As responsible stewards of natural resources, Mock Resources understands the pivotal role energy has in building sustainable economic growth, social progress, and improving quality of life locally and globally. In addition to providing ethically sourced energy, Mock Resources is committed to delivering scalable, reliable, and affordable energy to all communities, to equip all people with the modern energy resources they need to thrive. To learn more about Mock resources, email them info@machnr, that's machnr.com, or find them online at machnr.com.
Back in Clinton, quarter number 4 about to get started. Buffalo with a 30-10 lead over Waynoka. It's going to have to be a massive comeback for the Lady Rails to keep the season going. Here in the first game of area consolation, it's win or go home. Both teams 3 games away from the state tournament. As Batman kicks it down to Snyder, over to Batman, working on the right block, tries to muscle a shot in camp. As Delano able to scoop up the board and give it away to Poseidon. Poseidon standing near the center court logo, making her way in between the 2 circles. Goes around a screen, kicks it over to Wilson. Thought about a 3 from the left wing. Good Shea Wilson goes inside, strong, draws a foul. As the foul will be on Mulberry. That's her 3rd. First team foul on Buffalo this quarter. 7:27 to go in the ball game. Waynoka is going to need to come back from a 20-point deficit in this one. First free throw on the way goes off the back iron. Looks like we'll have a sub for Buffalo, and we will, as Alley subs in, looking to replace Mulberry. As Wilson gets her 2nd free throw on its way, and that one will rattle around. Can't get it to go. Fight for the ball ensues. A jump ball. They'll keep things with Waynoka. So not able to convert on the free throws, but able to get the ball back of the Lady Rails. 7:25 to go in the ball game. Still down by 20. Inbound to Wilson. Left side 3. Just left a bit short. Put back by Beck. Can't get it to go. 3rd chance. No. But a foul on Snyder. That'll be her 2nd, and it'll be another trip to the free throw line for Waynoka. As Beck trying to get her 1st points of the ball game. As Beck takes a couple dribbles, fires away free throw number 1. That one rattles around and in. 30-11 now the score. And Beck with an opportunity to complete the pair. 2nd free throw on its way. That one pure as well. 30-12, and if you're going to come back from down 20, you got to start somewhere, and a pair of free throws is just as good as any. 7:10 to go in the ball game. Alley from the right wing thought about a 3, drives inside, back over to Dyes, who'll kick it around to Lauer, just inside the arc, now moves back out on the left side before resetting to Dyes at the center court logo, rifling to Snyder on the right wing, dumping back down to Alley, who'll reset towards the free throw line, kick out to Lauer, down to 6:50 on the clock. Lauer still keeping things slow, looking for the best shot available for Buffalo. There's no shot clock, so they have no reason to try to rush anything. Throwing it down low to Batman, attacks inside. Can't get a shot to fall. Rebound, Poseidon. As Poseidon thundering down the court, trying to move across against Alley. Had the ball poked away, stolen by Lauer. And once again, those Waynoka turnovers just continuing to be a problem. As Lauer will reset once again, 6:20 to go in the ball game. Throwing it down low to Batman, has a pass poked out of bounds. Last touch by the Bison, and it'll be Waynoka's ball again as Martinelli will sub in. And she'll replace Delano. 6:16 to play in regulation, 30-12. Waynoka trailing Buffalo. The inbound goes out to Wilson, who makes her way across the timeline. Now looks to slow things down. Goes around to Poseidon screen. Found herself open at the top of the perimeter for a moment. Now in a bit of a log jam. Has to move it around to Martinelli. Hoists up a 3, and that one will just be a bit short, out of bounds. Be Snyder on the inbound, giving it away to Lauer, who will flip it back to Snyder. 6 minutes to go in the season for Waynoka if this score holds. 30-12, Buffalo on top of the Lady Rails. Snyder kicks it back out to Alley on the right side, around the Dyes, top of the perimeter, drives inside, tried to force up a shot, will go out of bounds and back to Waynoka. And Snyder just looking for contact on that one, and given the way the game has been called, that has usually been called, but not on that instance. It's been called that way for both sides. As Seeger gets bumped, and as she does, it'll turn into a travel. She moved her feet to Snyder in the area, so the travel stays, and will be Buffalo's ball once again. And just talked about refs not calling the shot down there. Now they don't want to call the bump there. So the refs letting this thing get a bit more physical here in the final 5:35 to play of the ball game. As Lauer on the left side gives it over to Alley on the wing. Now back out over the head of Lauer, goes across the timeline, and it'll be a backcourt violation. A quick sub for Buffalo as Jordan will check back in. She'll end up replacing Alley. Waynoka with the ball again, down 30-12 with 5:25 to go in the game. As the inbound goes to Seeger, out to Bozine with a push shot, can't get it to go. Martinelli tries to put it back up, can't get her shot to go. Batman able to get the board and a fight for the ball, jump ball, possession arrow, gives it to Buffalo. It's inbound for the Lady Bison, back out to Dyes. Dyes looking to set the play up, gives it to Snyder. Snyder dumps it down low to Batman, who gets bumped, and as she does, will be tripped to the free throw line. So the foul will be on Martinelli. That's her third. Batman will take a couple dribbles and fire away free throw number one as that one sinks in. Batman now with 10 points on the day to tie her with Snyder as the top scorer for the Lady Bison. As Batman takes another couple of dribbles, fires away free throw number two. That one clangs off the iron. Fight for the ball. Won by Snyder, went up with it and draws another trip to the free throw line. This will be a foul on Bozine. That's her second. 31-12, Buffalo on top of Waynoka, and two more free throws coming to Lady Bison's way. Snyder's first free throw clangs off the back iron, however. 5:07 to play in the game. Winner will play either Corn Bible Academy or Arnett tomorrow. There's a second free throw in for Snyder to move the lead back up to 20 with 5:05 to play. As Wilson makes her way towards the left wing, kicks it out to Seeger. Will slow things down, goes around the screen for Martinelli to clear up space for. Still trying to get it over to Bozine. Finally does. Deep right three, hits off the back iron into the arms of Batman. Will slow things down momentarily to Jordan. Now lobs it ahead to Dyes, who goes up strong. Shot spins around, won't go. And a push in the back called on Batman. And that'll be her fourth foul. 4:45 to play in this one. 32-12 the score, favoring Buffalo, as Reagan Wilson will now check in for Seeger. And we'll have another sub this time for Buffalo's. Mulberry will come in and place a Badman, as that's two of Buffalo's bigs, Badman and Prowser, with 4 fouls each. As Reagan Wilson able to get it into Shea Wilson, streaking across the court, racing down the timeline towards the left wing. Now looks to kick it back out to Martinelli around the top of the perimeter. Martinelli still looking for somewhere to go, fires it around to Reagan Wilson, back down to Martinelli, who ends up having the ball poked out of bounds by Lauer. 4:32 to go in the ball game. As Reagan Wilson throws a pass, it gets tipped away and stolen by Jordan. Ball was around, and as it finally does, it goes out of bounds back to Buffalo. So the Lady Bison still on top of the Lady Rails, 32-12, as Dyes from the top of the perimeter. Around, inside, now getting it back down to Jordan, tries to scoop a layup from the right block, can't get it to go. Goes hit the board, gets bumped from behind, and that'll be a foul on Jordan. That's her second. So it'll be the fourth team foul on Buffalo. Two more subs as Delano and Seeger check back into the game. Bozine on the inbound from the far sideline, getting it into Delano. As Delano looks for somewhere to get it off to, and as she finally does, timeout called first by Waynoka with 4:07 to go in the ballgame. Buffalo with a 32-12 lead over the Lady Rails. We'll take a timeout and be right back with more Waynoka basketball on KALV.
This quarter is brought to you by Viv's Flowers and Things in downtown Waynoka. Flowers for any occasion. Give Viv a call at 580-824-0023.
in Clinton. With the Lady Rails find themselves down by 20 with 4:07 to go in the ballgame. Area consolation winner will take on either Corn Bible Academy or Arnett tomorrow. Depends on the winner of that game. Will play the winner of this one. For Waynoka, it's 4:07 to try to erase a 20-point deficit to keep the season alive. Poseidon from the right wing makes her way inside over to Delano, top of the key three, just grazes the front of the iron. Fight for the ball ensues. Snyder came out, then traveled with it. Gives it right back to Waynoka. And Buffalo has only scored 2 points this entire quarter. Waynoka is getting the opportunities they've been waiting for. It's just trying to get these shots to go in, and so far they haven't. Poseidon, three from the left wing, just a bit too strong. Seeger tries to tap it. Instead, it's taken away by Prowser, who's able to get it down to Dyes, who will give it to a wide-open Jordan, who gets her layup to fall in. As Jordan able to get her first bucket of the day, and that's just well executed by Buffalo to have someone open. Wilson attacks with a left side three. That one won't fall either. Another rebound by Prowser. 3:25 to go in regulation, and a 34-12 lead for Buffalo. As Mulberry slows things down, now gets it to Prowser on the right block before pass gets tipped out of bounds and back to Buffalo. It's Poseidon there on the deflection. As Reagan Wilson will sub in for Seeger. This will be Dyes in the inbound from the right baseline. Kicks it out to Jordan, who will tee up a three from the right side. Got that one in. Jordan able to knock down the left wing three to make it 37-12. Buffalo on top of Waynoka. And that is the first person today, not named Paige Snyder, to hit a three. Shea Wilson attacks inside, can't get her shot to go, goes off the side of the rim, but then last touched by Buffalo. They'll keep things with Waynoka. 2:51 to play in the ball game. As the Buffalo students can sense that it looks like their season might move on to live another day. It's Poseidon for the right wing, tees up a three. That one just a bit too strong as Prowser able to fight for the ball, had it poked out of her hands, but able to re-corral it. Now double teamed to the corner, gets it off to Mulberry, who gets hacked as she does. You see as the foul's going to be called, looks like on Delano, and that'll be her third. It's Delano and Reagan Wilson, a few others in there trying to yank the ball away. 2:30 to go in the ball game. Mulberry on the extended right side gives it back out to Dyes. He'll slow things down before dumping it into Prowser from the left elbow. Had it poked away into the arms of Shea Wilson. As Wilson to move across center court before flicking it over to Poseidon in the right wing. Now looking to muscle her way inside. Throws up a flip shot that falls in. And it's the first field goal of the second half for Waynoka to make it 37-14. Lady Rails down by 23 with 2 minutes to go. As Dyes hands it off to Mulberry. We'll flick it back over to Dyes. Under 150 to go in the ballgame. Snyder tees up a three from the left wing and nailed it. Her fourth made three of the game. She leads all scorers with 14 points on the day. Martinelli from the left wing drives inside, end up losing the ball, and it's picked up by Jordan. Then Jordan falls on it, clears it over to Mulberry. Mulberry now racing ahead of defenders, drives inside with a bounce pass that gets poked away at the last second by Reagan Wilson. 1:25 to go in the ball game, 40-14. Buffalo on top of Waynoka. As we'll have two more subs as Zoe Schmidt and Carol King will check in for the first time today. Will King for the Lady Rails. With a couple of subs as well for Buffalo. It'll be Brooklyn Collier and Vanessa Lizardo making their appearances. 1:25 to go in this one. Buffalo with a 40-14 lead over Waynoka. As the inbound goes to Collier, tries to dump it down inside, instead stolen away by Reagan Wilson. 1:15 to go in this one. Lady Rails find themselves down by 26. Shea Wilson towards the free throw line. Hoists up a shot, and that one floats in. Make it 40-16 with 1:05 to go. as Mulberry slows things down. 1 minute to go in this one. She stands in between the two circles. Mulberry now bouncing it over to Collier. Will send it around to Lizardo in the right corner. Before giving it away to the right block down to Krauser. Will flip it back out to Dice. Tries a long two that spins around and in. 42-16. Buffalo on top of Waynoka. 33 seconds to go in this one. Bozeiden head full steam. Drives in from the left block. Draws a bump and a trip to the free throw line. As the foul will be on Dees. That's her first. So Bozeiden with 6 points so far in this one. First free throw on the way for her, up and in. So we'll have another sub as Seeger checks back in to replace Shea Wilson. As Coach Klein gives her a big hug. This will be the final game for Shea. The one senior on this Waynoka team is the second free throw in and out. 42-17, Buffalo on top of Waynoka. 20 seconds to go in this one as Mulberry looks to hold things out before giving it over to Dees. Spin it back out to Mulberry with 10 seconds to go. We'll wait for Bozeiden to come guard her, and this one will wrap itself up. Buffalo will get a 42-17 win over Waynoka to move on to the next round of area, where Buffalo will play either Corn Bible Academy or Arnett. We'll have to see for the result of that one, but that will wrap the season up for the Lady Rails, and what a ride it was. They finished with a record of 11-17 on the season. Buffalo's record will improve to 16-13. So, folks, we'll take a quick break and we'll come back and wrap this thing up. Buffalo with a 42-17 win over Waynoka. We'll be back to wrap this here on KALV.
Clean Harbors, hazardous waste disposal and recycling services provide the widest range of recycling, treatment, and disposal options for all your hazardous waste streams. Unmatched in North America, our infrastructure of hazardous waste management facilities services all of the U.S. and Canada, northern Mexico, and Puerto Rico. We handle both drum and bulk hazardous waste in liquid, solid, semi-solid, sludge, and gas forms. One call handles all your hazardous waste disposal needs. Located in Waynoka, where we proudly support our railroaders.
An almost magical last 20-25% of the season comes to a close. It has been quite an evolution. When Robin Klein first saw these girls, the ones coming out for basketball, what she had was a couple of pretty good athletes, a basketball player, maybe two, and some young girls that wanted to learn the game. And there were some beatdowns early on, no doubt about it. But in the last, 7 or 8 games, this group of girls melded, evolved, and became a team and played really at or above their abilities several times. So they've had a kind of a magical run. They came into today an 11-16 team that was 3 wins away from winning the state championship. Well, that goes home with the bus, but it doesn't cancel out what's been a pretty good and certainly interesting and fun to watch year. So we'll be taking up softball and baseball now to let you get a conclusion on today's activities and a wrap to see if it's any different than mine from the gym here in Clinton, Oklahoma. Ben Buckland to Cade Kennedy to wrap this baby up.
And looking at the final scores one more time here, Paige Snyder leads Buffalo with 14 points. Emery Batman with 10, 8 for Avery Prowser, And then 5 points for Isabel Jordan, 2 points for Lizzie Dees, 1 point for Tana Lauer, 2 points as well for Tinley Mulberry. Looking at scoring for Waynoka to wrap this thing, Temperance Boseiden with 7, Shea Wilson with 5, Gracie Martinelli with 3, and Briley Beck with 2. Waynoka, as Ben had mentioned, falls to 11-17 on the season, but an 11-16 team making it to area is still quite an accomplishment. 3 games away from making it to the state tournament for a team that had a whole lot of setbacks at the start of the year, just continue to try to fight their way into this thing and see where they could go. But a magical weekend at regionals to keep the season going will be most certainly, I would think, the highlight of this season. It was a fun season, but as Ben mentioned, we're on to softball and baseball now. Folks, we thank you as always for tuning in. We thank you to our sponsors. We could not do it without them. But for Ben Buckland, I'm Cade Kennedy. Folks, until next time, have a good one, everybody.